Hi, Tiff. I was talking to you about this glue gun technique that people are doing, and I thought it was pretty cool, but it requires some glass, but razor blade, 70% alcohol, then spray, loosen up your image once you've done your image of a flower or whatever that you're gonna do down there.
Back up. That's like way too complicated. There's gotta be a better way to do this.
Well, you can see it. Well, this is lame, Lance. I can't even draw a flower. This is like way harder than I would have ever thought. Oh shit. How much glue do you think this takes? Oh my God. Wasn't this a beautiful flower? Look at my piece of art. Oh my God, seriously. How long do you think it like takes to dry? Longer than that, obviously. Like, what do you do with all these strings? I am at the pinnacle of being an artist. Oh, it's dry. Oh look, it comes, well, it comes off. Seriously, who draws such a shitty flower?
Okay, Lance. Talk to you soon. See you on the other side of glue gun art.
Let's get to it.
Okay,
Bye.
so here we go. I've got a bunch of various colors of blue in an attempt to make what looks like a aquarium. Yeah, don't ask me what I'm doing. I've just, got all these colors and I'm going to swipe a background. I'm hoping for some cell reactions. I'm not using any Australian Floetrol or anything like that in my swipe over color. I just wanted to see if I could create like underwater bubbly kind of, I don't know what I think an ocean would look like. Not that I actually swim with my eyes open in the ocean, but let's just pretend. Now, I'll be honest, I really have no plan for this at all. Other than, of course, the background scene that I'm creating. But beyond that, I'm just going to let my intuition take over. Now, this is art you would never typically see on my channel. And it's more because I wanted just to explore where you could go with a glue gun, what you could do without a paintbrush, what type of scene you could create, utilizing skins and a whole plethora of other fluid art techniques, and just to explore the possibilities. Okay, welcome to Finding Nemo, the sequel, in my kitchen, starring a betta fish. So I need to fill up my aquarium or aquatic scene. So I found this picture of a betta fish online. I sketched it out on a piece of paper. Now I've laid parchment paper over top because it's, heat resistant. It can withstand, obviously it's baking paper. It's made for the oven, so it can withstand the heat of the glue gun. I'm actually going to tape it down on my spinner. That's tip number one. If you're doing something curvy like this and not some straight lines, it's easier to put it on the spinner because it's difficult to maneuver the glue gun around the curvy lines. So it's easier to spin it because you'll lose track of actually where you're going with your glue gun. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, when you're doing the glue gun, you just saw me do it there. I have to end a strip. So, because obviously you can't lay the bead down at once or follow the entire fish. The trigger only goes so far, only so much glue is going to come out. So you just pinch it off and then do whatever you need to do, and then you can come back and pick up another line. So basically just do it in sections. Don't be afraid to go, oh my God, I got to do the whole fish all in one go. Because if your life's anything like mine, my dog Henry is very needy and he will interrupt me and I'll have to take him out for a walk halfway through the betta fish. He doesn't understand that that's what I got to do first. All right, let's see if this thing comes off. So let's see. Here we go. I'm going to remove it from the parchment baking paper. I don't know. What's the right word? Parchment paper, baking paper? I don't know. So it slides off relatively easy. I'm going to leave it on the silicone mat. I didn't do this on the canvas because I'm actually going to make a skin and I'm going to use the outline or drawing as my outline. There we go. There's the words. This is abalone shell, which kind of gives it a nice translucent-y color, like as if the fins are lit up. I just make shit up as I go. You know that. And then some pretty yellowy color. I forget what this is called. I'll put all the description to all the colors down below in the description box. And of course, I'm a color art affiliate, so you can use my code at checkout and get 20% off when you order from the color art page. Hey, and if you happen to be in Europe, I'm going to lick. I'm not going to lick anything. I'm going to also put the link in for Saskia Smit. She is local here in Europe, actually local to me in the Netherlands, and you can purchase color art products directly from her as well. Because my discount code only works in the United States. So if you happen to be in Europe and you want some products, Saskia is your girl. She's my dealer anyway. So as you can see, I'm slowly laying down, this is on high speed, but I'm slowly laying down all of the colors and I'm dragging the stick kind of through it to kind of give the veins of the fish fins. Again, I'm trying to explain this and I really honestly don't know how. So it's now dry. It's been a couple of days. I'm going to peel it up off of the mat. Oh, it's a little scary, but I know I can do this. Yeah. And she's coming up. No problem. See, you can make a fish skin and use the glue as your outline. It's as simple as that. Fascinating, isn't it? Anyway, I thought it was easier just to do it totally off canvas as opposed to doing it on the canvas, because if you make a mistake here, doesn't matter. Just, make a new fish. It's no big deal. Okay, so one fish down, and let's see, I gotta make some more things. So I thought it'd be fun to make, I don't know, what do they call this? Like coral? I don't know. You can watch as I'm doing this. I'm making little branches. How's that? Of some underwater aquatic life. Yeah, I don't know what the terms are. I guess I could Google it and probably come back in with the voiceover and tell you what it is. But you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of making a bunch of branches out of the glue. And I'm going to put this in my scene. I never thought I'd never see the day that I'd be making glue gun art. But you know what? It is what it is. It's actually pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. And I'm just going to pinch off the ends because you see that it makes little strings when you stop. And that's okay. I just using my fingernail and kind of getting them off of there before I actually pick this up and decide what else to do with it. Okay, I think I've got all the ends off, and now let's just peel her up. Here she comes. Oh, look at that. Coral, glue gun coral. I'm fascinated by this whole process. So I'm just going to clean up a little bit of edges that are kind of left with some little bit of strings. I'm going to put her up on some paper towel just so that it doesn't stick to the silicone mat. And I'm going to color it in with a paint marker, no less. And I'm actually on the back side, the flat side, because you'll see at the end that it creates like a little translucency because the color's on the back side and then the see-through part is on the front side. Again, lost words, don't know how to explain it. All right, so that's the coral. Now let's add some other stuff. So I've decided now I'm gonna add some sea kelp. I think that's what this is called. So I'm just gonna lay down again on the silicone mat. I'm doing absolutely everything off canvas because, I can rework it, change it, because I don't have any plan in my mind as to what this thing is going to look like when it's all done. I'm just trying to make a bunch of objects that I can throw into my aquatic Finding Nemo scene. So I'm using 3 colors here. They don't really show up so well on camera, but it's like the olive green light by Amsterdam, and phthalo green. And I'm just going to swipe it over. It's going to create some pretty cells and a variation of color. I think it looks kind of cool, to be honest with you. And swipe it up with the palette knife. It's pretty easy, not so difficult. I'm going to make them in various sizes because I think that sea kelp should be in various sizes. Again, like I said earlier, I don't swim underwater with my eyes open. I really don't know. I just... flying by the seat of my pants, trying to make something work. And then I'm going to make some littler seaweedy pieces or sea plants. I don't know, leaves. I don't know what you want to call leaves, and I'm just putting them down in every color because I have a huge canvas. It's 40 by 80 and I need to fill it up with something. So this is kind of what I decided to do. I'm just going to make a bunch of these randomly on the silicone mat and then figure out, if I've got enough and lay them down on the canvas. Okay, and now I've decided that I need some flowers in my aquatic scene because there's underwater flowers, right? There's such a thing as flowers underwater. I don't know. So again, make another skin, primary yellow with the dioxazine purple. I'm going to blow out like I've done many times before. If you've seen any of my flower head chicks, the awesome blossom. I'm going to blow out a few of these. And see if there's a place for it in the bottom of my sea, my Finding Nemo picture. So this is just a bunch of colors. That's cell activator in the middle, blowing it out with an aquarium tube. You've seen me probably do this many times before. If not, I've got a tutorial on how I blow out skins. Now, these ones are a little bit different. So you saw the first one, and that's on top of tube paint, and then the primary elements and the prism pour on top. These ones actually are just 100% prism pour, primary elements, no tube paint, and I want to blow it on the canvas because it's kind of interesting. I wanted to see, you know, we're all playing and experimenting and I had paints left over. I just wanted to see like what they would do, and they make a pretty awesome little blossom, if I have to say so myself. I really loved it with the cell activator in the middle. Like, these are super cute, I'm not gonna lie. And when they're dry, they're like so shimmery pretty. Like, they look like they belong in the bottom of an ocean. And just when you think I couldn't come up with any more ideas, I've now decided, because again, I've got extra paints left over, I'm going to lay them down and attempt to do a swipe over. Again, just prism pour and primary elements, because I'm thinking that there should be rocks on the bottom of my ocean. Seriously, I don't know where my mind is going, but I'm going to do this. And look how cool this is. Just wait for it. Oh, so pretty. And they're going to continue to develop over time and grow and become absolutely amazing. Now, I've never done this on a canvas. I have no idea, but wow, this like blew my mind when I did this. These are beautiful. And I swept them both ways, and you'll see them when it all kind of comes together at the end. I have to leave the footage of both of them swiping in both directions because I just love watching these cells grow. Look at that. Oh my God, so cool. Yeah, I'm way too excited. I just keep going. This is such a departure for me compared to what I would normally do, but hey, we're just gonna go for it. So now I'm like so thrilled with what just happened. I'm going to make other ones in different colors because, you know, you can never have enough flowers at the bottom of an ocean. So this one, again, these are all just primary elements and prism pour, nothing else other than the cell activator, you know, the Australian Floetrol mixed with the either titanium white or the oxide black. And this time, rather than swipe over with the plastic film, or file divider, I'm actually going to play with the palette knife to see if I can get rocks in different shapes. Because again, you know, you can never have an ocean with not a lot of rocks. I mean, because I remember every tropical vacation I've ever been on, you know, when you go wade into the water in the Caribbean, there's always rocks down below. So I'm convinced that there's rocks at the bottom of the sea. Okay, time to do some assembly. So there's my sea kelp. I'm going to lay that down on the canvas. I'm going to hate the fact that I decided to lay these vertical. I'm actually going to peel them up and lay them slightly different very shortly because, yeah, this is annoying. I don't like that at all. Yeah, but they're very, very cool. Like, I love the variation in the leaves and stuff. I think they're kind of stunning. And this one kind of looks chewed on the end, like, you know, like a fish ate it. Yeah, I'm trying to be real and very authentic here. So yeah, how cool are these? Again, flying by the seat of my pants. I had no idea what I was doing. I just kind of thought this might actually work well as far as making sea kelp. All right, and now let's throw down my betta fish and try to figure out how I'm gonna place this corally thing. I'm not sure. And then those two little things, they're little fish. I cut them out of other skins that I'd made and made a little fish because I thought the betta fish needed a friend. And then these are all my little awesome blossom skins. Again, I'm trying to figure out where to put them. It takes a little bit of trial and error as I try to assemble this. This was a lot of fun though to do. It's, yeah, challenging but fun and way too ambitious probably for my first attempt, since I honestly don't remember the last time I used a glue gun and tried to create some type of an underwater seascape, which I've never done before either, and creating all this crazy amount of skins in order to create this whole aquatic scene. I'm going to turn up the music now, let you listen to that while I continue to assemble, and then I'll come back to the end, give you a full close-up. We'll check in to see what Lance did and maybe add some additional tips and tricks that I learned along the way. right, so here's the finished piece. I didn't know any other way to show you this other than, I know normally I hang it up on the wall, but today I just kind of wanted to bring you in close because you really need to see the details. So I've actually already glued this down. So these were the little flowers. These are the ones that didn't make it. This is 100% pigments and Prism Pour, no tube paint other than obviously the cell activator in the middle. And it's kind of got like a little bit of a translucent look. Like if you look, you can see my hand kind of coming through the backside, right? It's kind of cool. So I'd be curious to know like what other techniques I could use this for. But anyhow, I also use, as I mentioned, this is a colored glue stick. You can buy them pre-colored. I didn't know that. Lance told me about that. And this is obviously the clear glue stick, which I think everybody's familiar with. And then I glued everything down on my table with just strong white glue. Yeah, I flipped over the flower or the item and I just used a paintbrush and painted. Yep, pretty simple. But of course, I laid everything out on the canvas first. I wanted to figure out where everything was going to be, what was going to be the best composition, at least in my mind. So this is what I did. So let's just go through each technique, how I did it as a real quick commentary, because I know you've been with me for now. I'm going on 14, 15 minutes, I think. All right. So obviously I laid the background of the swipe. You saw me do that. Again, these are just basic tube paints, the majority of them. I think I did throw in some Treasure Gold by Folk Art. This is that color, this funky blue, and it does create some pretty cool cell-y action happening. There's like no silicone or anything in here. All right, so then the first thing that you saw me do was I made this coral piece. Let's bring these in for a close-up. So this is the coral. Again, I could use a little bit more of a glue drawing. I need to improve those skills, but you'll see the transparency or the translucency that I was talking about because I painted the underside. Yeah, this is all glued down now, so I can't lift it up, but I painted the underside of this, and then it leaves like this whole like little bit of a transparent look on the outside, which I thought was very, very cool. So there's an idea, right? If you didn't want to paint the outside, which I've seen a lot of people do, like on top of. And here's the betta fish. So as you can see, I made various colors in the tail. I did the abalone shell, and then I used a yellow and then an orange and kind of created it. And then I did not cover, this is just this glue stick on the outside. I didn't paint it or cover it or anything at all whatsoever. And so this is kind of the close-up of my fish. Could I go back in and maybe draw some scales? Yeah, I could. I just chose not to for whatever reason. All right, so then you saw me lay down some skins in order to create these and my kelp. So let's just give a close-up because the camera video wasn't so great. But here it is. These are all stuck down. And again, this is just the two olive colors that Amsterdam makes and phthalo green. And then I went over it with my palette knife and just kind of swiped through it. Went then in with my creme brulee torch and torched it. And these cute little cells showed up. How cute are these? So I thought it gave it a very like oceany kind of look. Then next thing you saw is my little fish. These were previous skins that I've done for my flower head chicks. This one, unfortunately, something fell in it, so ruined the other half of this whole bloom. So I just kind of cut it out. And look, if you look closely, again, you kind of got to go with the skin and the vision of the skin and what it kind of, how it reads. So it looks like it's a little fish eye. This looks like a fin of, I don't know, some fairy fish. I'm not sure what kind of fish, but it looks like a fish, at least to me. Again, it's abstract. And then this little fish here, again, another skin that I had from blown out. And I just kind of followed the lines of how it blew out. And this one actually is damaged, but luckily the damage on it is like, looks like a little fish mouth. So I kept that one. Why not, right? This is all an experiment in kind of figuring out different techniques and different ideas. So who cared? Next, I blew out these Awesome Blossoms. As I mentioned previously, these are 100% Prism Pour and pigments. There is no tube paint in these other than the cell activator. So you can kind of see them up close. I think they're very pretty and shimmery because again, they're pigments and Prism Pour. I think they're quite lovely in my personal opinion. And then you saw me do the cool swipe. And then I made these, I don't know, rocks. Or maybe they're coral that, live in Australia that I've never seen with my own eyes. But yeah, so that's those. And I thought it looked kind of cool with like this kind of coming in behind and adding a whole bunch of depth and definition, because if I come down with a bit of a tilt, you can see, right? It's multi-layered. And then as we come over here, same thing. I had some rocks made, or coral, and I thought they were kind of interesting shapes, some tubular looking things. I thought it looked kind of bare, so I drew in some more tree coral stuff. And then I used those other little skins that I made and kind of made like a little plant, of various colors. So when I did these ones, I did one in phthalo green, I did ones in the olive green and the dark green. So this is just the phthalo and the dark olive. And then we come up here again, because I wanted to give like it a dimensional look. So it's kind of positioned like up higher, like as if, I don't know, like you're looking at it and there's like multiple shelves in a coral reef kind of thing, because I don't think the bottom of the ocean's flat. So again, I made a little plant sitting on some rocks or other coral. I put in another little tree, and that's basically what I did and how I created this. Now let's hang it up on the wall and see what it looks like.
All right, so here it is up on the wall. I just wanted to do a quick outro just to kind of give you size and scale of this. It was an ambitious project, of course. I hope that you enjoyed this. It's a definite departure from what I would normally do. When Lance threw out the challenge to say, hey, well, do you think we can do something with some glue sticks? I'm like, yeah, hey, you know what? Let's try it. So here we are. And if you're catching this on the replay and you missed Lance's stunning mermaid, I will put that in the description box below, a link directly to his video. And of course, I will also list all the other artists that went tonight on this Friday night of premieres. So thanks for watching. Ciao for now. And if you're interested, I got another video that you can watch of me trying to embellish something that looks like it's from a dollar store. Who knows, you might find that interesting. See you in the next video, because I got some really cool stuff coming up.